Good morning, everybody. I hope you're hungry. Today we are going to make quesadillas, which they're ridiculously easy to make, but they're also something that is really versatile. You can make them savory or sweet. You could basically use them to use up stuff that you've got in the fridge. You can put anything that you like in them. Cheese quesadillas are probably the easiest. You use a tortilla and some cheese and you cook it and away you're done. But we're gonna do a Tex-Mex one that's got some tomatoes and some black beans, caramelized onions, some cheese, and a little bit of cumin in it. So let's get started. Here's the ingredients that we need. We've got our tortillas, cumin, cheese, black beans, canned tomatoes, and an onion. We are going to slice the onion like this so that we can caramelize it. You don't have to. I just really like the flavor of caramelized onions. Love them on a burger. Like them on pizzas. You know, all that kind of stuff. So that's all we have to do. Just slice them into, I mean, you can do them however you like. I like them in strips like that. So we've got those. They go into a frying pan on a low heat where they sit for 15 to 20 minutes. The longer they sit, the more the sugar in the onion comes out, giving them a nice golden brown color and that sweetness that is so important with caramelized onions. I've got them all ready, so we're gonna go over to the stove and get started on the filling. So, in the frying pan, actually I'm gonna do this. In the frying pan, we are going to, this is just so easy. There goes the frying pan. We're gonna put our caramelized onions. You can see how they're all nice and brown, and you don't wanna burn them, but you want them nice and brown and rich and caramelly colored. Then we're gonna add a few black beans, like that. This is, I'm just doing the filling for one, but you can do, you know, obviously the filling for as many as you want at once. And then we're going to put some tomatoes in there as well. I need a spoon for that. So these are stewed tomatoes. Means they've already been cooked. You can use fresh tomatoes if you've got them, or not tomatoes at all if you don't like them. So we're gonna put a couple tablespoons of tomatoes in there. And we're gonna mix that all up. And we're going to add cumin. Cumin is what makes Mexican food taste like Mexican food. So we're gonna put a little bit of that in there. Really, it depends on how much you're making and whether or not you even like cumin. Again, you don't have to use it if you don't want to. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. And we're gonna just heat that up a little bit so that the flavors all blend. Just like that. So we're gonna, it doesn't even have to be hot. Okay, so now we're going to go to the big frying pan. And this is where you cook the quesadillas. So we're gonna get the tortilla. So these are just, you know, basic tortillas. You can use whole wheat ones, you can use corn ones, whatever. I like the flour ones. So that goes down in the frying pan like that. You put your topping in like that. Try and keep it all in the tortilla. So you can add, if you've got any leftover chicken, you can add that if you want a meat version. Ground beef's really good in here. I like to use the beans because they're a really inexpensive source of protein, lots of fiber in them. They're really very good for you. And then you put your cheese on the top. Now I like to put the cheese on the top because that way I know when the cheese is melted that the tortilla is hot all the way through. If you put it on the bottom, it'll melt a lot faster than the ingredients will get hot. So then you just let it sit for a couple of minutes. You're basically trying to get the bottom all nice and brown and crispy. If you don't want to turn on the stove, you can totally do this in the microwave, which is nice when it's summertime and it's hot and you don't want to heat up your kitchen. So honestly, that's it. This is so easy, but you can put anything in there. Like I said, you can put chicken, you can put ground beef, tomatoes or not tomatoes. You can use veggies if you like. Sauteed peppers and onions would be really good in here. Things like that. So just check the bottom. It's still really soft and pliable, which is another option. If you wanted it like this, you could roll it up and eat it like a burrito. Doesn't have to be a quesadilla. That's the cool thing about using tortillas. You can make burritos out of them. You can make tostadas out of them. You can make quesadillas out of them. Lots of neat things like that. But you see how it's starting to melt? The cheese is getting all melty on the top, which means everything's getting nice and hot all the way through. I've got it on medium heat. You don't want it too hot because again, it'll burn before it cooks, and that's not cool either. It's starting to get nice and crisp on the bottom. I'm just gonna get a plate out. Cilantro. If you like cilantro, you can put that on there. Personally, I think cilantro is disgusting. Some people like it, some people don't. If you don't have tomatoes, salsa. Salsa works really well. Salsa and cheese is a super easy way to do that. I just wanted to show you how to do this without having to buy salsa. So there's that. We're going to fold it. No, not quite. But you can see on the other side of the tortilla, I'll just show you how it's starting to get nice and brown. So realistically, it's done. Give it a couple more minutes for these things to melt. Just a little bit more. And it's just that easy. But you're not old enough to get that reference. Your parents might know who that is. That's Shel Bussey. He was a home fix-it guy before Mike Holmes on the network TV thing. Okay, so we're just gonna fold this in half like that. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. And then that goes on your plate. And you can cut it into pieces. I would let it sit for a minute just so the cheese gets a chance to settle and not run all over the place. Cut it in half, put some sour cream on it if you have that, or some salsa if you want more. And yeah, that's pretty much all you have to do to make quesadillas. So I hope you enjoy those, have some fun, be creative with your fillings, and can't wait to see what it is that you've done. Thanks guys, take care, bye.